Yeah. I got Onyx Storm yesterday. Today is Wednesday. It came out yesterday, Tuesday. And I went and bought it on my way to work. And today I don't work, so I'm gonna be reading it all day long. First order of business. It is like 9 a.m. I have listened to Fantasy Fangirls podcast where they recap Fourth Wing and Iron Flame and talk about predictions and all of those things. So I listened to those podcasts. I've watched a couple YouTube videos on what happened in Fourth Wing and Iron Flame just so I'm fresh going into this one. But I'm excited. I'm ready. I read the preface already, or the prologue, whatever. Yeah, the prologue. And I'm excited. I'm getting back into that like Fourth Wing vibe, which is always an enjoyable state. Look at the fan art on the inside. Isn't it so pretty? I've never had a book with fan art. This is just the other side of the wall, which is interesting. But I'm currently wearing jeans and I need to be wearing comfy pants. So I'm gonna change into my comfy pants. Movie magic. Second order of business, make a coffee. I have my Ember mug, my favorite mug of all time, because I am a slow coffee drinker. So it is nice to have something that keeps my coffee warm as long as I want it to. And then Nespresso. Thoughts and feelings going into this. I already talked about that I am excited, which I am excited to get into it. However, I'm skeptical, curious, perhaps. I loved Fourth Wing. Absolutely loved this book. I got just that initial like 5-star feeling from it where I was reading and I was like, this is so good. I love dragons. I love dragon riders. I love this whole concept of a dragon school. This is fun. I'm really enjoying my time, right? And then Iron Flame came out. Was I happy with her? No. I ended up hearing after I read this that this was originally supposed to be 2 books. I don't know if this is true. I literally have no idea. But I heard it's originally supposed to be 2 books because there's almost like 2 big, like, what are they called? Like apexes of the story in a way. It felt very much just like information download, which I understand is necessary probably for the rest of the series. However, it just felt very, not repetitive, but it felt monotonous and kind of like I was trudging through the story. Instead of with Fourth Wing, I felt like I just flew through it, like read so quickly through the story and it felt so natural to read, whereas this did not feel that way. That's why going into Onyx Storm, I'm a little bit hesitant because I'm trying not to give it the expectations of Fourth Wing, so I'm as disappointed as I was going into Iron Flame. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. But like I said, I am excited and I'm interested to see where she takes this story next because I have some theories of my own that I'm excited to see if they come to fruition. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get through as much of this as possible today. I'm gonna read until probably about 4 because that's when I have to pick my daughter up from school. And then after that, I'll read tonight, see how far I get. Fourth Wing was 5 stars, Iron Flame was 2 stars. So let's see where this takes us. Look how perfect it is for a nice, cozy, snowed in reading day. It was actually snowing just a second ago, but it has stopped, which kind of sucks. Or it's a little bit of a flurry, I think. I don't know, but super cozy. Okay, initial thoughts. I'm officially on page 50 chapter 6. Am I liking it? Yes. Is it hooking me quite like Fourth Wing did? Not yet, but I feel like it can get there. I don't want to spoil anything in this video, so I'll be kind of hinty about this, I guess. In this book, they are going on a type of mission. I think when they start doing that is when it's really gonna grip me. Because it's new, interesting, like something cool to find out, basically. So I think that will kind of help grip me a little bit. However, I hope that doesn't start happening too late in the book, that I get bored. But yeah, it's still entertaining. I'm still going to continue reading for the rest of the day. As of right now, they're just trying to navigate interpersonal relationships and the balance of Basgiev, basically, which I understand probably needs to be sorted out before she can really get into the meat of the rest of the book, because those power dynamics and ranks and everything need to be sorted and set before they go on this mission. So yeah, it's just kind of getting through that before I think it's gonna get really interesting again. Okay, a little bit of an update. I have been not progressing in Onyx Storm because I'm going on a little solo adventure to Copenhagen. I'm eating cheese. On Friday, 2 days from now. So I planned out my whole little trip just now. I got my little itinerary, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm excited. I'm doing a video on it, so I'll do like a little vloggy of that. So that's what I've been doing the past couple of hours, but we're gonna get right back into it right now. It's been a few days. I went on a weekend trip to Copenhagen. Go watch this. I didn't bring this book with me, one, because it's huge, and two, because I wanted to read some other things while I was there. However, I have now read a little bit more. I'm on page 180, chapter 21. I don't know what it is about these past two books. It just is so hard for me to get into it and like get through it. It feels like I'm just trudging through mud when I read it, which is not what you want. I think I figured out what it is. The past two books, to me, so far, Iron Flame for sure, because I'm finished, but so far this one is this might be kind of harsh, but is the book version of this meeting could have been an email. Because I just feel like there is so much unnecessary stuff added into it. That's like, okay, just get to the point. Just do the fun stuff. What is this? Let's just do the fun things. Like, we know they're gonna have to go on a mission soon. Why is it every single time something new happens, they're like, okay, we'll go in 4 days. Okay, we'll go in 3 days. Okay, we'll go in blah, blah, blah. Like, just go. Just go on the mission. Just skip all of this. I have an example. This is small compared to, you know, the majority of the words in this book. But to set the scene, they are in an important meeting, and they're determining who's gonna go on this mission and blah, 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 blah. So they're arguing, and it is a heated moment. I cross the freshly mopped floor and take the scroll, then step back so I'm in line with Riddoch, and give my orders a quick read. We will leave for Deverelli the day after tomorrow. meet with the king to try to negotiate an alliance. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, like why include all of those words? Like, why can't she just, I took the scroll, took a step back, and quickly read my orders. Instead, I cross the freshly mopped floor and take the scroll, then step back so I'm in line with Riddick, and give my orders a quick read. It's like, why, freshly mopped floor, what's the point? Why? I don't understand. I don't care if the floor in this Basgayath War College is freshly mopped. Like, I'm not thinking about if it's cleaned or not. What's the importance of adding that? And it just feels like every page has this sort of unnecessary addition of content. It's almost like her editor is like, hey, if you want this to be a real fantasy series, then these books have to be huge, you know? And so she's like, oh, okay, instead of I walked across the floor, or instead of I grabbed the scroll, I walked across the freshly mopped floor. I don't know. I'm being picky. I'm being picky. This could have been an email. I found another example. So they're on their mission finally, right? They've landed in a place. I'm not going to say details because I don't want to spoil it for people who might actually enjoy this book. But it says, within moments, our 5 dragons and 2 griffins cover every available foot of the field. Fine, whatever. I detach one of my packs, but hesitate to leave the second strapped to the back of the saddle. It is safer that I carry it, Taryn reminds me, dipping his shoulder impatiently. It means you can't detach the saddle. I don't want him uncomfortable. As if I would disparage my family name by being unprepared should the enemy got it. I undo my strap, then beg my body to comply as I climb out of the seat. It's like, why do we need a million sentences about taking off a pack off of the saddle or not? Yes, I understand that maybe this is alluding to something that's going to happen, like she's going to need Taryn to have the saddle on because the enemy is going to do something. But like, we know that. We know that. They just arrived a second ago. We know that Taryn has his saddle on. So why do I need 7 sentences, 7 to 10 to 20 sentences about taking a pack and the saddle off? I just don't, just not vibing. Just not vibing. And I started this page, chapter 21, like 5 minutes ago, and it is taking me what feels 5 minutes feels like 20 when I'm reading this book. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to continue reading it. I'm only here for the dragons at this point. And if they start disappointing me, I'm afraid I might just have to stop with these books. But Taryn and Andarna are amazing. I love their little back and forth banter because Andarna is just a sassy little teenager and Taryn is like the cutest girl dad type vibe where he's like annoyed by her but adores her. So super cute. They are what's carrying me through this book right now. officially finished Onyx Storm. I gave it 3.5 stars. And before you yell at me, I can hear you through the screen. But before you do that, I rated this higher than Iron Flame. I rated Iron Flame 2 stars. So this was better. However, I think Rebecca Yaros's writing style, I think, is not that great for me. I think it borders on, it is very descriptive, which I can understand being nice for a lot of people. However, for me, it borders on the edge of, like, I needed to up my word count in this book. So I'm kind of adding these descriptors in. A lot of it felt unnecessary to me. And it just drags. Like the plot and just the, I don't know, like the rise and the fall, it just drags on because you have this, like, you have this slow incline up until something crazy happens, right? Then something crazy happens and it's extremely exciting and you're really into the book and you're like, holy cow, this is a good book, you know? And then all of a sudden it just pew, plummets straight back down, and then you're back to this just slow, agonizing incline back up to another exciting point. And I hate that. I hated that. I did not like that at all. I ended up having to, I downloaded the audiobook on Libby and I listened to the book at like 3 times speed because there's just those chapters where it just drags on. It's so much just nothingness, in my opinion. Okay, that being said, I like the story. I like some of the characters a lot. Violet and Xaden are kind of getting on my nerves in a sense where I feel like their stories and their relationship is kind of just like circling and circling and circling and circling, so it's kind of getting a little bit boring. However, I am gonna continue to read the series for 4 things. The dragons. I love the dragons. I think them being sassy and sarcastic is so fun. I love them and their personalities. All of the dragons. We even got some other writer POVs at the end of this book, and their dragons were great as well. I'm here for the dragons. I'm here for Bodhi. I like Bodhi. Bodhi is Xaden's cousin, and he is just so dedicated to Violet, the main character, that I'm here for his story and his arc because I think something big is gonna happen with him. I'm also here for Auric. I think Auric is such a cool character, and you learn at the very end of this book, you learn what his signet is, and I think that's gonna be so cool and have such a big impact on the storyline in the next book, hopefully, and like his progression as a character. Lastly, I'm excited for Kat. I think Kat is going to play a big role in the next couple books. I mean, it wasn't big, but we learned a lot more about her in this book and her and Violet's connection. So learning about her and Violet together, I don't know, I just like her. I like her attitude. I can't explain it. I just like her. So that's why I'm continuing on with the series. I want to keep up with the times, right? Everyone's loving this book. All I see is this is the greatest book to have ever hit the shelves. You know, like this is the greatest book ever written. People are obsessed. So what that says about me, I don't know. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. I had a decent time reading it. I'm just gonna say that things better pick up next book because I feel like Iron Flame and Onyx Storm have just been these pits, these downs in the storyline when Fourth Wing just hooked me, you know? Fourth Wing was so gripping, and I read it so quickly. I think I read it, I read it the first time in just a couple days, and then when I read it again the second time through, I was like, okay, this probably isn't going to be as good as the first time I read it, but it was. Like, it was even better than the first time I read it. However, moving on to Iron Flame, it took me weeks to finish that book. It took me over a month, I think. It was just like, I was not having a good time. And then this one, the reason it didn't take me weeks and I didn't stop reading it halfway through is because I got the audiobook and I just like forced myself to get through it. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the fourth one. Bye.